Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. This word comes up a lot, and I feel in many ways it's the foundation for your future. Intention, or being intentional. The intent you put in is everything, everything. And we're going to go through some examples of what everything means from meditation, from going to the gym, from relationships, intention. To help us out with that, we have a great life coach, and she works with individuals, couples on self-improvement, guiding you through grief. Maybe it's fitness, navigating life, helping you with intention. And she's our professional of the year. Dawn Manderfeld joins us on the program again. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good to have you back here. Been a little
Yeah.
while,
Yeah.
but we have lots to
All
talk
good,
about.
man.
Yeah, this word intention, it really resonates for me. And when I think about it, and I didn't really go super deep until I knew we were going to talk about it today, it really is everything. It really is everything. And I'm picking examples in my mind right down to it. I'm going to go really like granular, but sometimes I sage. I'll take sage and I'll just clear the energy in the room. Some people do that, right? Um, And then I stopped using an actual sage stick because I don't want, to have the smoke and everything burning. I remember I once did it at home and my daughter's like, something's on fire. I'm like, no, I'm saging. It's all good. And then I got a spray of sage. And then I thought to myself, well, I don't know that this is 100% sage. I don't really know if this is like the real thing. It smells like sage, but I don't really know, is it? And then somebody said, it may not be 100%, but it's about the intention you put in. What's your intention in using that spray? Well, I'm using that spray in place of burning sage to clear energy. And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. It was the intention I put in. So one like very random example, but I think we could go on for hours in a podcast about how intention applies to our lives. How do you define intention?
Being intentional is when you, with a purpose and a choice, decide to make yourself available and to be present. It is a decision in a direction that you directly choose to either change, go in, or add to your routine. That is something that's important to you, something that you know that you need in your life to just kind of redirect things and try. It's a really good thing to do just to get on a good discipline also.
Hmm.
Yeah, in intention is a pretty big decision, but it can really change your life actually and direct it in a whole different perspective if you take it seriously.
Is this why sometimes some of us fail? Let's say New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I got a goal. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym. But then you fall short, I don't know, 3 weeks in. Some say the first week of February is, kind of the kind of the norm when it comes to New Year's resolutions. Is it because not proper intention was used? We weren't truly intentional in that goal?
I believe that's 100% correct. You just made a resolution and an intention are totally different. A resolution, if it's not set out in steps, as we've spoken before, you are going to fail.
Yeah.
Being intentional is where you literally have made the choice that this is important enough to me, that no matter how tough it gets, this is what I am going to choose to do. And you literally will put the steps forward to do it. And you will make that decision. Like with me this year, it's like, I have so many friends I miss. I have been so busy in life, with, raising kids like everybody else. But when my husband who passed away, when he got sick, I couldn't be around a lot of people. I lost a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends that didn't come back after he passed away.
Mm.
And it took a lot of my time. And I didn't have, I couldn't have my open door policy in my home anymore. So it really, really changed things. Then after that, I had some responsibilities that were very unexpected that literally put me in the workforce even more than I was before. I had a financial commitment that all of a sudden was put in my face that I had no control over it. I had to take care of it. So for me, a lot of these friendships are really important. So I have made it this year to be intentional that these are my friends. They're worth me getting time to spend time with. I am going to get it on my calendar. I'm going to contact them. I'm going to call them and I'm going to set it up. And I've started that process and it just literally has just brought so much peace and joy to me. Like
Hmm.
I'm literally so excited that we always say we'll do it tomorrow. Yep, yep, yep. Let's get together. Hey, yeah, see you later. Yeah, let's make a plan next month. But you know what? That's where I'm at right now, and that is what this year is going to be for me. It's going to be that way. And so for me, that is what I am. One of the things I'm making very intentional this year is you need those good friends. If you have them, make time for them. And I'm out of one season now. I'm starting a new season, and I'm going to make that intentional plan to be with these people.
So
So,
you said when we before we got on here that intention is your word of the year.
yep, being
Okay.
intentional.
Hmm. I selected and side note here, we can all instead of you don't want to set a resolution or resolutions, set a word for the year. And we might have talked about that. You pick a word that when you think about everything that you're trying to do and accomplish, what's what's that word going to move you forward? The one you're going to put on post-it notes everywhere, that's the word. You keep seeing it, you keep moving forward. Best way to figure out this year's word is what would have been last year's word. Put it all together. So I did all of that. My word is execution. And as I'm looking at
Oh.
both of us, intention, execution, there's a parallel. I feel. What are your thoughts?
There is because the other word I have after intentional here in my journal book
Mm.
is action.
Mm. Okay.
And so to
Yeah.
be intentional, you have to have action. You have to execute action to be intentional. You
Hmm.
can't be intentional without it.
Okay. So this is just like dropping in my head, and I want to bounce it off you and get your thoughts. Is it start with the intention or being intentional, and then closely following that is the action or the execution? They're they're right there next to each other. You really can't have one without the other.
You
Other,
can't.
yeah, right.
To have action, you have to be intentional.
You're
And
squeezing my
that's
mind
and,
today. You're
and
really making me think because I, now that I'm getting deeper into this, it's like, all right, yeah,
well, this could really be more than one podcast, actually.
hmm,
And it's an important thing for today. I mean, there's a lot of changes going on in the world today, and it's not going to get any easier. But when you learn what's important to you, and even though people are so extremely busy, and I'm going to put stress in there because most people I know, when they're busy, they're stressed.
hmm,
They don't always do anything that brings them peace. So even though you may be kind of in a happy place, you're in a chaotic happy place, make yourself more in a peaceful happy place. And even if it's one time a month, one time every other month, what's important to you, make it work. Put the action toward it. When it's on your calendar, you seem to, most people will, that's an important appointment. It's on my calendar.
hmm.
Be intentional about yourself and what's important to you because time does go by way too fast and you will have regrets. I've already been there.
That I was just going to go there. Um, so thank you for opening that door. Do you feel that, and not, I'm not going, when you say regrets, I'm not talking about somebody who may have passed, and that's an extreme situation where I should have connected. I should have connected. And then time ran out. Let's go with you had been making you, and we all do it. I just did it last night. Yeah, let's definitely get together. Let's talk tomorrow. Today is tomorrow. No, actually, yeah, it is
Yep.
now. That was last night.
Yep.
But energetically, potentially subconsciously, if you have these little things that you want to accomplish, reconnect with friends. Let's go with that one right there. You wanted to do it, but you weren't intentional, but deep down inside, you still want to do it. Is
Yep.
there a piece of you that you don't even realize that you feel slightly defeated, slightly unfulfilled? And you might not even be able to put your finger on it, but it's just like, nah. But like, why am I bringing this up? Because you said, Dawn Manderfeld, that you feel so much better because you were intentional, actionable in connecting with those relationships. So now it's not festering deep inside of you, and you might not even know it, but you just feel a little off. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like things pull you down, but you don't realize it. And what a weight lifted off of your shoulder because you were intentional and now actionable in me connecting with these people again. It's like I feel good. Like I got something accomplished. I'm working forward and I'm rekindling these relationships. And man, it feels good. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
it does. Um, Having good friends in your life is so important.
Oh yeah.
And it's sad to me that sometimes the only time we reach out to those friends that we know will really be there is when we are in a devastating situation.
Mm,
I don't want it to stay that way.
mm,
I want it to be in when we're in a good place. You know,
mm.
a lot of my friends, I'm just going to put this out there. They're who I call my prayer warriors. They're my support team. And even though I may not have seen them for a long time, I know that I can always connect with them. But I want to connect face to face. I want to literally sit down with them. I want to be present and I want to connect face to face and rekindle the importance of that. It's so easy to go to the phone and text, so easy to go to the email and send an email. We as human beings need more than that. We literally need to have that physical connection. And so that's where I'm at, is that
Mm.
I know I can always rely on them. And it makes me happy when they contact me back and say, oh, yes, I got that. Oh, yes, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, that my daughter just got this award in college, and we can connect that way. But it's different when it's personable, face-to-face communication. And I think we are getting too much away
Oh
from
yeah.
that with all of the technology. And we as human beings, we need that. We really need that.
We're social creatures.
Yep.
It's we run in packs. As a matter of fact, this is going to be goofy, but I'm going to share it because it just makes me laugh a little bit. There's a study that just came out about contagious. Just don't judge. Just go with it. Contagious, but this illustrates your point. Contagious urination. When one person goes to the restroom, others follow, and they traced it back to evolution, and that was a bonding type thing way back, like even in primate territory, and it kind of explains why one woman goes to the bathroom and four follow. Um,
Yep.
but we are social creatures, so that's we need to bond, we need to be together. Um, and it's interesting. There's a place for texting, I'll even say it sometimes, and I'm saying it more often lately. Like I don't want to talk on the phone about that. Just text me. We'll take care of it. Move on. But then there's other situations where no, you need to get together. But we've been so conditioned with technology that you don't realize the full benefit of getting together in person again. And
Hmm.
like I'm scanning my mind. I got together with three friends for the holidays. We tried to make plans. I have lots of friends who are women, and we're just we're on a group chat and we talk. I'm the only man, all good. And we got together like 2 weeks ago, and I'm thinking back to that get together, and I'm like, we all, "Oh, I'm busy," and finally did it. I'm like, I'm so glad we did that. Like, I feel even more connected to them, um, and that I have their back and they have my back. And it's same thing, I have a men's group, and it's this. We meet once a week. Why do we meet once a week? Because you need to meet once a week, and you can't virtual, you can't Zoom with that kind of stuff. But back to the beginning, you got to be intentional.
Yeah, I'm not a phone person. Even when I would manage offices and stuff in the past, the phone was probably my most dreaded thing to be on the phone. And my family knows that, my kids know that. And so I am thankful. I'm going to go back to the texting. I'm thankful that we can do that now because so many times I think about certain people and I just want them to know that they're on their mind and I'm thinking about them. I'm praying for them. I'm just asking briefly, are you okay? What's going on? Because in the past, you always had to call to do that. Well, with the jobs that I've had, I have not been able to physically phone call, so I appreciate the texts. But now it's come to the point where, because of one of my other jobs, besides living beautifully broken, I do help with elderly and hospice. Um, I don't have that social connection really, and I'm really starting to miss it because I
Mm,
used to be a very social person. And
mm,
then when my husband got sick and we really couldn't go anywhere, it was only doctor appointments, I became very comfortable just being home, not having to deal with anything except him. I don't want to stay that way because when
mm,
I do go out and I do hang out with friends, I realize just how much I thoroughly enjoy it.
mm.
And it just adds another whole new connection for me that just is good for me.
It's interesting. I get what you're saying very clearly. And there was a point where I was going out a lot. And just, every day was filled. I hang out with this friend. I'm going to dinner tonight with my best friend. This weekend, I'm going to go see a tribute band. I would always be doing stuff, but I didn't realize the benefits of doing nothing. So,
Yeah.
so lately, and it is winter, so you're less active, and that's all good. Um, I still get together, but I'm more selective. So, and like I look forward to just sitting in my bed, meditating, throwing something on TV occasionally. It's like now I look forward to it because you got to shut it off sometimes, but you have to have a balance. You have to have a balance.
Well, my life used to be so busy that I didn't know how to sit down and just,
Yeah, me, I get it.
and so now it's kind of gotten that way. But I think the other whole side of that is that you forget who a piece of you is that you really enjoy.
Hmm.
And so it's like I know now that I can be peaceful with just myself being at home, and I can be peaceful when I'm doing my jobs and always gone. But there for a while, I was never home. So I just wanted to be home. So every
Mm,
chance I could be home, I'm like, I don't want to go out tonight.
yeah, yeah.
I've been gone all week. I've been running. I've been, caretaking for, 2 nights in a row. I just want to be home. And now it's like, okay, I've done all that. Now let's just find a happy medium and be intentional.
Yeah, it's funny. Side note on that, same exact thing what you just described. And I got some kind of virus in October. I got acute laryngitis. It was crazy. I've never get sick. I haven't had a fever in half my life, but it made me stop and it made me stay in bed. And then this is only in the last couple of months. That's why I realized that what? That's why people do this. Oh, this is actually okay. This is nice to
Hmm.
relax. And, I don't watch TV. I don't watch a show. All right, cool. Um, what are some of the other things that we can or should be intentional with? And everybody's, it's a personalized situation, but maybe ideas where we don't realize that we should be intentional to get things done.
I think we need to be intentional about putting ourselves in a happy environment.
Mm.
If you are in a place where there's stuff everywhere, be intentional with organizing that, giving yourself your happy, quiet space. I think another thing we need to be intentional about is our health. we need to be intentional about taking care of ourselves because as we age, things do happen. Been there doing that. Our health is worth it. It's especially if, we have that significant other, we have children. We need to be intentional with taking care of ourselves.
Mm,
I think we need to be
yes.
intentional about complimenting people. Um, I was out the other day and there was a lady in front of me, and to me, she was just this beautiful lady. And when she was in front of me, I just said, "You're a very beautiful lady." I said, I just want you to know that. And she was so shocked. I didn't know. I really thought she was gonna hit me because she just got really stern and kind of stood up and she looked at me. And I said, "I'm just trying to give you a compliment because it's real." And then the cashier goes, "You are a very beautiful lady." And she literally got tears in her eyes and she just said, "I haven't heard that in years since my husband passed away." And she was, I mean, we're talking, she could be a model. And she was an older lady and she was just how she carried herself. And then I said, what makes you beautiful is I said, "You look peaceful."
Mm,
And she said, "I am in a peaceful state right now." So I think we
uh,
need to be intentional about if we're thinking something positive about somebody, give them the compliment. "Hey, I really like your dress. Hey, I really like your shoes." I think those are just some really simple things that if we start being intentional about, it makes us happy because we literally made someone's day by using our words in an intentional, positive way.
1 billion%. And that stranger, you might not just make their day, you might save their life. They may be going
Exactly.
through some heavy stuff. And that barista at Starbucks, you just said, wow, that coffee was really good today. I don't know what you're doing over there, but fantastic. And love your hair, by the way. It fits your face. Like it's you. Thanks. Have a great day. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Leave it be. But you just said something really resonates. If you think it, you feel it, act on it, say it. There's a reason you're feeling it. Maybe you're feeling their energy, and maybe you're the empathetic part of you is screaming that they need this. Do it. We're so afraid, I don't want to be the creeper, to say,
Yeah.
pass a compliment to somebody else, but what do you got to lose? You got everything to gain. So what? If they're offended by it, they'll just give you a look and walk away. All right, they're lost. That's it. Um,
Well, there again, it's being using action,
yes, yes.
you know.
You know what? Yes. Yeah, because you had the intention, you had that quick thought, I want to say something. But if you don't take the action. So yeah, well, I think we kind of stumbled upon that today, that intention has to be followed by some kind of action or something, some kind of execution. Otherwise, it just kind of sits on the vine and maybe withers away, that intention.
Well, another thing with being intentional is if there are relationships in your life that are sucking all the energy out of you and literally just kind of put you in a state of heaviness, be intentional with either fixing that, removing that, or moving past it
Yep. Yep.
because it's okay to do that.
Hmm. Does it serve you? Ask that question. Does it serve you? And that's not, doesn't mean you're like the king and queen on the hill. Be gone. You don't serve me anymore. Things change. Maybe it's not serving you. Your website, easy. I've always loved the name, always will. Living beautifully broken. We are. Let's admit
Yeah.
it. Don't the elephants in the room. We are living beautifully broken, and we're all broken in some way. Livingbb.org is your website, and all of what we're talking about here and so much more. People reach out to you even if they have a question. Is that all good?
That's all good. And my phone number is 952-200-1103.
I'm glad we were intentional about talking about intention. It's really important. It's everything. It's everything. Thanks
It
for
is.
being here today, Dawn. Appreciate it.
Yes, and you have a blessed week now.
You too. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.